Yes, sir. We are back. Hey, man. So there's a lot going on, Cowboy fans. Hey, hey. I decided to change it up a little bit and talk about some different things, but we will see. Let me fix this TikTok. There we go. But hey, let we're gonna get into it, and I'll give you some insight a little bit, right? If you look at the thumbnail on YouTube, you might understand what we're about to talk about. And first of all, I hope everybody had a blessed Sunday. I know I did. I spent time with family. What do we have on the menu? It was carne guisada, rice, beans, and I also made some menudo, beef menudo, for those of you that are Mexican food enthusiasts or connoisseurs. That's what's on the menu. But look, listen, if you saw the thumbnail, you know what we're about to talk about. Look, I don't think anybody's talking about it, and I think it's a serious subject that needs to be talked about, and that is the Dallas Cowboys 2024 opponents and what that means for Mike McCarthy and this staff. What it really means, because we got to look into that before we get into the whole free agency and all these draft picks. I want to know from you guys, from you all, the community, how you feel about this schedule, right? And although the schedule hasn't been determined of what dates, we know our opponents. And this is what the tricky part is. We have a lot of teams that we're going to play that are very, very good. You know, this last season, we kind of had an okay schedule, but some of these teams were not that good that we played. So this schedule is full of a lot of great opponents we're about to face. So, you know, I want your opinion and see what you guys think about these opponents we're about to play. And not to sound bad, but we got to be realistic about our team, right? We're about to play some really good teams, and we're gonna put it up, right? So everybody understands where we're at. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me, hey, are we gonna lose against that team? Are we gonna win? Obviously, we still need to construct these teams, free agency and all that, but still, you look at the pedigree and of these teams as far as the AFC North is concerned, because we're playing the AFC North. That is a huge gauntlet to go through. I don't care what anybody says. Joe Burrow got hurt. I got it. But hey, Cincinnati is still a tough team. We got somebody on TikTok, Marcus Eagles going to knock you guys out. We will see. Hey, it's a long season. The Eagles did not look good, man, last year. That I believe, I might be wrong, but they lost 6 out of the last 8. That's a lot. The team didn't look like they had chemistry. And I'll just leave it at that. But obviously, we lost in the first round to the 7th seed. But man, you guys were not looking good at the stretch, or the home stretch, as you can say. So, but we'll get into it, man. Let's pull up these numbers, not numbers, but I would say let's talk about the schedule, right? So here's the schedule. Obviously, as it hasn't been determined, I don't know if y'all can see it or not. I can say it, but Marcus Eagle says, I think Chiefs 3-peat. Hey, man, at the end of the day, this is what we got to think, right? Can y'all hear me now? Oh, no. Can y'all hear me now? I'm pretty sure y'all can hear me now. Yes. Okay, there we go. Fix. Sorry, guys. Malfunction. It's all good. So back to what I was saying. Um, looking at the schedule, and let me read some of these comments first. But so they can hear me on TikTok. The Cowboys need to get user 769 says the Cowboys need to get to the playoffs and beat whoever they play. That's true. He also said they don't need to worry about Niners unless they're on their way. Super Bowl win equals goal. Yep. 49er 525 says Cowboys will make playoffs, so just lose first round. 49er says I've never seen so many Cowboy fans troll the Niners playoffs in my history since 86. It's kind of funny though. 769 says Niners losing the Super Bowl, only winner is the Chiefs. 49ers all love host. Hey, I appreciate it, brother. Hey, so Hoodlum is on. What's up, Hoodlum? Hoodlum is on. Yo. Yeah, we're talking about the schedule, man, and just going through some of the comments. Man, this is a tough task. Now, the reason I bring this up is depending on where this schedule lies, right? Because we got to think about where this schedule is going to lie. This is kind of a big deal. If we play the AFC North in the first, I don't know, let's say 7-8 games, that's a big deal because this is the thing. What happens if Mike McCarthy loses these games against really good teams, great teams, and starts out, I don't know, 1-6, 1-5? The question lies, does Mike McCarthy get fired? Because that's a possibility depending on this schedule. Now, obviously, it depends on the team that they put together, obviously. That's going to be a really big deal. Dwight Thrasher says, we are back. I appreciate it, Dwight. That's what I thought. I figured it out finally. But I'm just saying, like, this is a big deal that we need to be talking about because Mike McCarthy is about to go into a gauntlet, right? And Flores Nico, I don't think I've ever heard him on here. Let's give him a round of applause. Flores Nico, welcome to the show. Hey, we give everybody that's new to a round of applause. I haven't seen your name, so I appreciate it. He says Derrick Henry. Yeah. And that's my point is depending on how they construct this roster is going to mean a lot of things. And so I'm just looking ahead right now. This schedule is not going to be easy. It's not. And we also play the Saints. If you add the Saints to that, like they're still a tough team, especially if we're playing them. We're playing at home, but still, that's a big deal. Dwight Thrasher says at 1-6, he is fired. I believe too. I believe so too, but I'm just saying, man, at 49ers 5525 says, why do all the Lions get a slight below tough schedule? And I think that's just the way it works out. I think last year they had kind of slight below tough schedule as well. And 4955 says Lions should have a tougher schedule. I don't know. We will see. I guess we could find out real quick. But I mean, we play the Niners. Not only do we play the AFC North, we play the Niners and the Lions. So this is going to be a tough schedule. And I don't think a lot of people understand, like, Mike McCarthy might be in trouble if he doesn't really win against these good teams. Like, he didn't do that last year. And if he doesn't, it could spell really big trouble for him if he doesn't. So I say that to say this. I think Mike McCarthy needs to let go of the play calling situation and maybe give it to Brian Schottenheimer and him worry about the whole team. That's just my opinion on it. I'm not, he did really well, don't get me wrong, but I think Brian Schottenheimer has an idea of what he's trying to do. So I think that might be something to look forward to in the future, because this is going to be a really tough schedule. And if we don't win these games against these teams, man, it's going to be really tough. So to answer you, 49er 5525, I'm looking at the Detroit Lions schedule. Let me see. Hold on real quick. So we're looking at, let's see. I'm trying to see the 2024 schedule. So the opponents for the Lions are, we know the North for them, but Jacksonville, Seattle, Tennessee, Buffalo, and Tampa they will play. Also, Arizona, Houston, Indianapolis, San Francisco, and Dallas. So yeah, they don't have an easy schedule either. They have some tough teams that they're going to play as well. So they got a tough schedule for 49er 5525. You're right. They are going to have a tougher schedule. Um, let's see. Cowboys, Eagles, and Niners have a tough schedule. Yeah, they do. Lions looking at potentially 4 losses. User 769 says Cowboys need to fix run defense. They also need to be able to play man to man or zone defense. Yeah, of course. But I think the biggest thing is we need to fix is what players are we bringing in to solidify this run game and then stopping the run. And I think, in my opinion, I think Mike Zimmer was probably. I would have liked Mike Vrabel, but we don't know why we called him. I don't think anybody knows, but I think Mike Zimmer is probably the perfect fit as long as he's still that fiery, intense guy and keeps people accountable. I think we have the right defensive coordinator that we need. And I think a lot has been said about Dan Quinn, although he did a phenomenal job. I think we're still weak in a lot of things, but I have to agree that maybe he was a buddy with too many of the players and didn't hold them accountable. And you have to do that in this NFL in order to get whatever you can out of these players. 495525 says, you think the Cowboys could trade for Diggs or even Ayuk? At this point, I don't know. I think if the Cowboys are going to do anything, they really favor their draft picks. So I don't see them trading for somebody like that because you're talking about probably a number 1 or number 2, maybe. So I don't see them doing that because they're trying to draft for the future, especially if it's offensive line. So I don't see that happening. 49er 5525. Now I do see them maybe picking up a free agent. There's going to be a lot of good free agents out there. But trading for one of those guys, I don't know, unless Diggs is a maybe a 4th, 5th round pick, maybe trade, but I seriously doubt that. I don't know if they'll do that. Flores Nico says get him. Yeah, a lot of people are going to say that, but like I said, the Cowboys are really, they really like their draft picks. Johnny Lopez says Derrick Henry coming to Dallas. Hey, I think everybody's in the consensus for that. I think if we do that, I think it's a great move. But it has to be at the right price, I think. How much is he gonna want? He's on the tail end of his career. Is he gonna want as much money as he can get? Because the $12 million, $10 million range for me is too much. It's too high. So we'll have to see the Derrick Henry stakes and see what happens. But if I'm Derrick Henry, I believe he lives there. He works out there. It makes 100% sense for him to take a pay cut and be in Dallas for maybe 2 years and maybe even 1-year contract and just try to get that trophy, man. I agree. I think everybody is a consensus that Derrick Henry would be a great fit for the Dallas Cowboys. But as much as we want to talk about Derrick Henry, guys, we have to get a better center, in my opinion. Like we have to have a strong point, anchor point, and it starts with center. That's what starts with the run game. If we can get a really good center, I think we're set with Derrick Henry. And I think from there the chips just fall where they fall, and we've done what we can. 49555 says, host, you got to come on here more often. You have a fired live. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Hey, round of applause for that. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, man. Hey, we try to read all the comments. It's hard for me. I'm a one-man show right now, but no, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. We like to talk NFL, period, man. Any NFL. I'm not saying I know everything, but I know a lot of everything. So I appreciate it. Johnny Lopez says Brandon Ayuk comes to Dallas. Trade for Brandon Cooks to 49ers. I mean that could be possible. But you also got to look at, is Brandon Ayuk the same player as any player that we have in the roster, maybe a Tolbert? So are we really trading for somebody that we already have on the roster? Do you really want to do that? That's the question you have to ask yourself too, Johnny. If I'm going to go get a wide receiver, why not go get Mike Evans? Let's go get Mike Evans. You're talking about a deep threat, possession receiver, deep threat down the field. And you have to double him. If you don't, you got to double CD. So that's the kind of player I look at if I'm looking at for a player, right? And we don't have to trade for him. So that to me makes sense for the Cowboys. But will they do it? I don't know. That they have a master plan for it. So we'll see. User 769 says, I think Pollard gets stronger and faster. He was getting over injury. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I think Pollard is not going to be a Cowboy in my opinion. I think he walks. That's just me. Deuce 2224 says we need to draft O-line and linebacker. Hey man, we already know that. But this is the question for you all. What if the Cowboys go out in free agency and fill those spots? Let's say we get the Devontae David, maybe a White, maybe one of those players. I'm just throwing this out there, and we get maybe a good guard or center or whatever, or tackle maybe, depending on the free agency, right? And we fill those needs. Can we still pick the best player in the draft? I think that's possible. 49ers 525 says Jefferson. No, I don't think. I think Jefferson's staying, man. To be honest, Dwight 369 says T Higgins may be available. T Higgins may be available. We're gonna find out real quick with all these tags that's gonna happen in the NFL. Johnny Lopez says super facts. I like your ideas. Yeah, appreciate it, brother. Ray Martinez, thanks. Francisi, don't see it happening. No, I don't see it happening. Ray Martinez or Scott Smith says D-line interior run stopper. Maybe. I mean, there's some free agents too, man, that probably won't command a lot of money. So Ray Martinez, not bad. So all in all, we're talking about, and obviously you guys are talking about the construction of this team, right? Dwight Thrasher on YouTube says Henry would still be a backup in Dallas. He would have become cheap. Yep, that's what I'm saying. He has to come cheap. Now, I'm all in and drafting a running back, and I said this last year. I think we should have. We didn't do it to the later rounds. I'm not talking about later rounds. I'm talking early rounds. Somebody's going to be an impact on this team. I think we have to do that in order for us to be good. Johnny Lopez says on draft we need a center and safety. I agree, man. I like the centers in this draft. I think there's a lot of them that are a top tier that would be great in our system. Now safety, I don't know about. I believe we got Wayne Thomas, we got Hooker, we still have Marquise Bell that can play safety. I believe that center and linebacker are probably our biggest ones. Ray Martinez, I'm worried about a defense. I think everybody is. Deuce says, but you got to sign CD and Micah this year. Cowboys not going to pay for elite free agents. Now, you got to look how they're going to construct. The biggest thing is they got to extend Dak. Once they extend Dak, they can probably sign CD. And what's going to happen is they're going to save 20 something if they extend Dak this year. If they extend CD, they're going to save 17 million, not 17 million exactly, maybe 11 million somewhere there. So they're going to save from that 17 million that's due. So we're talking about maybe close to 30,000 or 30 million, I'm sorry, in cap space right there. And not to mention some other things they can do with other players. And that's going to get us probably a little bit closer to 50 million. So there's a possibility that you can kick those contracts down the line, but still pay CD. Maybe Micah is next year, maybe not this year, but there's some things that you can do to construct for a 2-year plan to bring in those top tier free agents, Deuce. So I'm telling you, man, we've already done the homework, and I think it's possible. 49ers552 says, I'll take your Dallas kicker. That dude is stud. Hey, and Aubrey, he's pretty damn good. I'm not going to lie, man. Clint Rogers 819 says, are we looking into getting Patrick Queen from Baltimore? Hey, I'm all ears, man. I'm okay with that. Either Patrick Queen or Pat Queen, White, Levante David, one of those guys I think would fit this scheme that Mike Zimmer is going to run. So we will see, man. That would be my opinion. That way you can take the best available player in the draft. But ultimately, we got to fix the offensive line. I believe we need a better center. Don't get me wrong, I like Biotish, but I don't think he's that strong enough player to play center. So I think we need a big, strong center, bigger guy. Ray Martinez says, I say they need to go get that guard. How long is Zach Martin going to last? Yeah, that's another thing. How much longer is he going to play? Johnny Lopez says Patrick Queen and Parsons best duo. Yeah, Pat Queen, maybe Levante David kind of matchup. That would be awesome. Hey guys, make sure you like the live. Make sure you share, subscribe. If you're on TikTok, make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe. I appreciate it. Let's see, we got any more comments? Yeah, so we're talking about the construction of the team that's going to lead up to this schedule, what I keep talking about. Listen, we're playing the Bengals. I'm going to say it again. We're playing Pittsburgh, all the AFC North, Cleveland, the Ravens. We're playing the Lions. We're playing the Niners. That's 6 good teams that we're going to play. The question is, when are those teams going to line up on this schedule? Is it going to be the first 7, 8 games or 10 games? That's a big deal, because if Mike McCarthy does not do well during those games, he might not be the Cowboys head coach for long. You got to be very careful. So it's important that, I think the important thing was Mike Zimmer. That's number one. I think he's going to bring accountability and discipline to this team. And he's not going to baby him. He's not going to be their buddy. He's not going to do any of that, which I think Dan Quinn's downfall was at, right? User 769 says Zimmerman likes 4-3 defense. Do you think this helps run defense? Yeah, I think it does. And I think if you look at the NFL, he runs a 4-3, I got it. But a lot of these teams run somewhat of a 3-4 nickel kind of offense because of the way the NFL's built. They run a lot of 3 wide receivers, which gets you in the nickel /3-4 defense, right? But hey, Mike Zimmer has been a really good defensive coach. I believe in him. I think he's a perfect fit here. We will see. Only time can tell, right? Clint Rogers says 819, go Cowboys, go D-line with the first pick. I don't know if that's necessarily true with the D-line. I think you just go with the best available player. And at the end of the day, if that's a center, then you go center. In my opinion, I think one or two of these centers can start. The guy from Oregon and the guy from Georgia can probably start in the NFL right away, in my opinion. Now, I still have to look at the film and look at all that stuff, but from just a bird's eye view, it looks like these guys might be able to start right away. Johnny Lopez says, I just subscribed to YouTube, Cowboys Nation. Let's go, Johnny. Hey, round of applause, Johnny. Appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing to YouTube, you guys. Thank you so much. So like I said, the biggest thing is how we construct this team, because this is going to be a huge gauntlet. I keep saying that, of this schedule, and I don't think a lot of people are talking about this. This is going to be a really hard schedule. And I think Mike McCarthy, Jerry Jones said he's all in. I got it. What does that mean? Does that mean you're going to go top tier free agents and best available player? If that's the case, then we have a chance to really compete in this schedule that we're about to have. Soccer Game 445 says Michael Parsons can play both sports, basketball, and NFL. Yes, he can. I think he showed that, crossing up Stephen A. Smith. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be very vital how Jerry Jones and Mike McCarthy and Stephen Jones and Will McClay, we trust in Will McClay, how they construct this team to play against this AFC North, the Niners and the Lions. That's going to be tough, man. You're going to have to make sure that you shore up that offensive line, the defensive line, and linebackers, because it's going to be a tough sledding here coming to schedule, man. Hopefully when the schedule comes out, we'll have a better picture of where those teams line up. And if it's early on, it's going to be tough sledding for Mike McCarthy, man. There's a possibility that if we played the way we played last year with good teams this year, it could spell big trouble for Mike McCarthy, and he might not be the Dallas Cowboys head coach come week 8, week 9. So we will see. Soccer Game 445 says next year is going to be tough. We never give up no matter what. DC for life. Let's go Cowboys. That's right. Johnny Lopez says Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones use that acknowledge on free agency. Use that acknowledge. Yep. I'm hoping, man. MWG family says, really, Javier, you live when at the NBA All-Star game. Enjoy this live chat, Javier and Jerry. You're great. No, I appreciate it, brother. Thanks. Yeah, I had to go live, man. Ray Martinez says, already got that new circle, just waiting for the date when it comes out against the Steelers. Yep. Hey, I don't care what anybody says. The Steelers is going to be a tough game, man. Mike Tomlin always has great teams, and they're ready to play. So we will see. But hey, make sure you guys like, subscribe to the channel. We are here for you. We put out this content. We read all the comments for you guys, so you have a voice in this Cowboys Nation, this up and down roller coaster we call the Cowboys Nation. We love you guys. We appreciate it. Soccer Game 445 says, what is next year a I don't know, she's schedule. So, I put it up in the screen already, but we don't know obviously the dates, but we are playing the AFC North, which is the Ravens, the Bengals, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Browns. It's a tough schedule. We got the Niners, we got the Lions, and we also play the Saints, Tampa Bay. These are going to be some tough games. And then obviously on top of our division, this is not going to be an easy schedule. It's going to be, I'm telling you, man, this is going to be tough. We got to make sure that the Dallas Cowboys have to construct a good team this free agency and this draft. They have to hit. If they don't, they're going to be in big trouble if they think this same team can go out compete against this schedule. It's not. So we will see. El Mas Chingon says, hey, brother, good evening. How do you feel about the Zim hire? I like it. Look, I like it just because he's always been a good defensive coordinator. And as you can see, some of the video that you've seen, he holds his guys accountable, man. He doesn't play this, hey, we're buddies. And like I said before, I think Dan Quinn did that a little bit. And he's going to hold them accountable. So we will see, man. I think it's a great hire. We'll see. TC1 kid says, sorry, 11-6 or 12-5. My bad. That's somewhere about right. Soccer Game 445 says we can pick up a good pick on the NFL draft. Yes, we can. El Mashigon says I wanted him as soon as I saw him. He had interest. Yeah. I think aside from Mike Vrabel, which wasn't, interviewed, somebody asked me, I think it was man, who was it that asked me? Somebody asked me on Facebook, and I said, hey man, if I had to pick between the three, I'd pick Zimmer. That's just my opinion. Just because of the type of coach he is. He's very hard-nosed, accountable kind of coach. So that's what this defense kind of needs. So that's the pick that I went, and that's what the Cowboys went with. So we will see. Hopefully it's the right pick. I think it will be. Ray Martinez says, I don't see the truth happening with Saquon Barkley. Soccer Gamer says, I think a lot of people wanted us to draft O-line. Yep. And Machingon says, we're going to play a 4-3, which means we can't have the makeshift linebackers. Nope, that's not how it works, man. And Mike Zimmer's not going to play that makeshift linebackers. It's not gonna work that way. You need true off the ball linebackers. And off the ball means like not pass rushing linebackers, mean off the ball linebackers that can play, can scrape, can get away from offensive linemen and get to the running back. So those are the type of linebackers that we need. And hopefully if we do have that shift, that changes Micah Parsons' ability to hopefully become the best version of himself. And Mashigon says, I think he'll move Micah like he did Anthony Barr in Minnesota. I don't want to say too much, but I have a feeling that might happen with Mike Zimmer, but we will see. I believe playing Micah in first and second down as linebacker is probably a perfect fit. And then on situational downs on third down, depending on third and long, if it's a pass, then he rushes the passer. So we will see. Only time will tell. Soccer Game 445 says Mike Zimmer is going to be amazing DC. I believe so. And we have, look at welcome to the show. It is Jose. What's up, Jose? He's an original, man. Original. Welcome, Jose. The team needs to get a team psychologist. The whole team needs to get a major attitude and mental adjustment. Being called paper champions will never transfer to the field. That's a good point. I mean, it's true. And that's why, to me, I like the Mike Zimmer hire. I believe he's that hard-nosed coach that's going to make you work hard, that's going to hold you accountable. It's going to get in your face and kind of light a fire on you, right? Kind of like the Jimmy Johnson days. So We will see. Only time will tell. I think his first job is going to be make sure that he fits those players where they belong, and then obviously make sure that linebacking core is where it's supposed to be. So we'll see. El Machingon says, hope you draft some linebackers and maybe sign one or two free agents. That's the hope, man. And that's the whole idea of what I'm saying about the schedule. This is gonna be a tough schedule. If you don't fix this roster and construct it the way you want it, and not do makeshift things like you did in the past, I think we have a chance. But if you don't, we're gonna have issues. And you try to keep the same team, it's not gonna work. So we will see. Soccer Game 445 says next year we're going to see new Cowboys team. We will see, man. Hey, I hope so. I hope they add some more weapons. We need another running back, linebackers. We that central core. So we will see. Jones says he's all in. So we will see, guys. Hey, look, we're gonna wrap this up. We appreciate you guys. TikTok, Instagram, everybody that follows us, we appreciate it. I think on Instagram we hit like 7,000 followers. We appreciate everything. Soccer Game says, I say give Deuce Vaughn a chance. Hey, why not? At this point, look, make sure you subscribe to YouTube. Help us out. Hey, we do this for y'all. We read all the comments. We are about the community, the people. This is a family. We appreciate y'all. Hey, as always, this is the Cowboys Cast. Soccer Game Mom says, have a wonderful night. God bless. Everybody have a great night. And Jose says, peace, chorizo grease. Peace and chorizo grease. Hey, TikTok, we love you. Ray Martinez says, go Cowboys. El Chingon, I thought we should have used Deuce. Bro. Hey, as pros, I agree with you, man. 100%. Hey, we love you guys. Hey, make sure I'm going to go live probably 2 more times this next week. Make sure y'all catch us. Hey, guys, we love you guys. We appreciate everything y'all do. Keep it. Hey, TikTok, I'm going to let you know right now. Be nice. I'm going to let TikTok go first. Hey, TikTok, we appreciate you. As always, keep it real. Later, TikTok. Hey, YouTube. Hey, man, hit that like, subscribe button. Make sure you put on the bell notification so we go live. You can hear us. Till then, as always, keep it real.